Please welcome Robert.
Hey, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Doing all right? Awesome. Let's get another round of applause this morning for IdeaFest and Western Kentucky University for putting this event on. All right, so to start out, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Who here, just raise your hand, has ever had a dream before? Just a dream in general. Ever had a dream? All right, so pretty much everybody. Isn't that interesting? No matter who you are, where you come from, or where you're going in life, that's a common ability that everybody has, and that's the ability to dream and create. So my speech this morning is not going to be as much informational, but more motivational, because I'm an entrepreneur, and I'll tell you a bit about my story and what we're doing. Chasing the dream, like they mentioned, Spartan 4x4, we build cool cars, we build jacked up trucks, we build Jeeps, SUVs, muscle cars, we're about to get in performance, exotic, all the crazy stuff. The importance of dreaming, that's a big thing. So with the ability to dream, you create. With the ability to create, you innovate. And with the ability to innovate, you change the world. And that's what our place in this world is to do, is to change it. We all have an impact, and we all have the ability to dream and create. Progressing through passion, that's a bit of an interesting one, and I'm going to tell you a little bit thing about my personal journey. My favorite part of the day growing up when I was y'all's age in high school and middle school was the ride home, was leaving school. And I know that probably doesn't sound the best for the teachers out there, and it has no disrespect or anything to what I was learning or the classes I was taking. But that ride home allowed me to look out the window and dream. You know, when you're driving on the highway, you look at the buildings, you look at the cars going by, you look at all these unbelievable things, you wonder, man, how did they get there? You know, that had to start with a dream. And you have to be passionate about what you're doing in order to accomplish that dream. You know, just because you dream doesn't mean you can create and be successful. There's a whole bunch of steps that go in that process. The biggest thing that you see a lot of times is everybody has a dream. So why do we only hear about and read about and see the most successful people or the most famous people in the world? What about everybody else? What about all the small guys out there that have dreams? Well, the difference between the people, the small guys that have dreams that never get heard about, or the individuals that never get heard about, the people that are extremely successful and famous, is that they're very good at what they do. They're passionate about it, and they progress with their dream through their passion. See, when you do something in life and you just do it, the quality of your work's not going to be that great. That's the difference between, you know, the athletic kids. They enjoy that, you know, sports and the PE classes and things like that more than kids who don't. So they end up being better at it, versus the kids who enjoy reading books more and studying and, you know, all that stuff. They're going to be better at the kids that don't, because they're passionate about it. So if you apply that to what you're dreaming about and what you want to do in life, you know, you're going to be a lot better at that. And that's how you become successful and accomplish whatever you're wanting to do. So let's break it down a little bit more. The first thing is brainstorming passion and skills. Just because you're passionate about something doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be successful. That's a big misunderstanding in the world. You know, you could be, you know, for me, like my instance, you know, I'm passionate about swimming. I love swimming. I swam in high school. I swam varsity. I wasn't that good at it. Kids used to come to high school and watch the swim meet just because of how bad I was. They would all sit, you know, so in the swim meet, you have a certain amount of lanes, and the fastest are always in the middle, and the slowest are always on the outside. Well, I was always on the outside, and I was always on the side closest to the stands. And the swimming's not the most interesting sport to come watch, but I was able to put on a show. I was able to entertain people because I was struggling to swim in the first place. Somehow I made the team. I don't know. But I was passionate about it, and I enjoyed it, so I did it. But it didn't necessarily mean I was good. Now, with the business that I do right now, that I own, we have 6 employees, 2 of which are in here right now, Hunter Lee and Andrew Clark. I'm passionate about that. And I figured out that I have a skill set that, you know, that allows me to really take advantage of what we're doing and grow it. Started it out in 2015 at my parents' garage. The whole business just started because I wanted to build a Jeep and put parts on it and make it cool, because I didn't have a whole lot of money. Started with Instagram and got better at it. I started out, wasn't that good, but as you grow and you learn, you start to understand that, man, I'm starting to get good at this. I can take it to the next level. And then you start realizing, by brainstorming and putting your ideas together, and you start connecting, okay, here's my dream, here's my skill set, let's put it together, and then let's see what we can create from it. The second thing is visualizing the long term. So like we mentioned, our business is to build cool cars. We sell parts. We do a whole array of things. We do consulting. We do media stuff. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. But what's a long-term dream? I'm not going to sit here and just say, okay, here's our goals, for quarter one, quarter two, quarter three. I'm going to tell you something a little bit personally about what we want to do. And you might laugh at this, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. How many of y'all have ever heard of Netflix or like TV or just like sitting on YouTube because you're just, that's what you want to do? Everybody. So the world is absorbing content at an extremely high rate. These big companies, these big networks, they're buying content constantly to keep users engaged. So what one of our dreams is and our long-term goals is to have a TV show or a Netflix series or start out on YouTube or something big like that. Obviously, that's just not going to happen overnight. There's 100 places out there that just do what we do, what makes us interesting, what makes us worth watching and worthwhile. Well, we've understood that we have a very unique staff at our company. Everyone's in their 20s. We're in a unique market. We build cool cars. It creates a lot of engagement. It's aesthetics. It's pretty cool. People are going to engage in that. But why, would we fit into the model? Well, that's the thing is there is no model. There's no model for anything in life. The only model there is the model that you make for yourself. Short-term goals, that's how you get to the long-term goals. See, if you just make, I want to have a big dream one day, this is what I want to do. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that, you're going to be able to do it. A lot of people, there's a big misconception in the sense of, okay, it's a dream, it has to stay a dream. It can't become a reality. It can't become what I want it to become one day. So by creating short-term goals and just steps along that process, well, that's how you accomplish it. So with us, we figured, okay, we're going to have to open up an installation center. We're going to have the right employees. We're going to have the right shop techs. We're going to have the right marketing team. We're going to have to be able to promote the company, and we've got a few years to figure out what we need to do in order to accomplish what we want to have as our long-term goal. You can't forget the short-term steps. Everyone says it's not, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You can sprint it, but you're going to tire yourself out pretty quickly. Hold yourself accountable to a timeline. That's one of the biggest things that can be applied to anything in life, no matter what you're doing. It can be just, studying for a test. Okay, I need to have these notes made. I need to study at this point in time. I need to meet with a group. It can be, it's anything. It's super applicable to anything in life. You have to have a timeline, and it keeps you on track. We have 2 calendars in our office that are physical. Everything's online nowadays. There's Google Drive. Everything's in the cloud. But we have 2 calendars. We have a short-term calendar it's a whiteboard with everything broken up, and we fill it out, everything short-term. Then we have a long-term calendar, which we still write down the short-term stuff just so we have it, but then we also have all the stuff that we're doing in the future. That way, you don't lose sight of what you want to do down the road, but you know what you have to do today and tomorrow. It's extremely important. Not losing perspective. A lot of times in entrepreneurship, people forget to step back and look at what we've accomplished. And I'm not going to lie to you, people promote entrepreneurship as being, the next big thing in today's world and all the amazing perks about it and all the amazing things that come from it. And don't get me wrong, it is amazing. It is awesome. When stuff's going good and you're accomplishing things, nothing feels better. But when you kind of hit a rut and you take a step back and you're kind of like, man, I'm not really where I want to be at right now. We're not really accomplishing the things that I want to be doing. You kind of get bogged down, and it's hard. So you have to take a step back and look at what you've done. For instance, in the last year, in 2018 was a huge year for our business. In 2018, even though I started the company in 2015, in 2018, we officially got our first office. We hired our first few employees. We traveled all around the Southeast going to different shows. We ended up building a vehicle for a company out in Utah and going to Las Vegas and spending over 10 days, I think, in Las Vegas, which was a lot of fun. As for perspective, though, you have to step back because there was a lot of times in that journey throughout 2018 that we realized, you're looking in the moment and you're like, wow, things are behind schedule. Well, are we going to get this done? And you don't really think that you're going to be able to. You kind of forget, you get tired, you get discouraged, you want to give up. But you have to motivate yourself and step back and say, okay, look what we did this week. Look what we did last month. Look what we've done this whole year. And then you're like, wow, we really did a lot. And it motivates you and drives you into the future. So when I was going over this speech with my sister, she's a PR major. She's actually studying in the Netherlands, and she's about to come back to the U.S. I was talking to her about my speech, and I was, just trying to figure out a few things to talk about. And she said something to me about chasing the dream is living the dream. If you go online and you read anything that a lot of very successful people have written, or seminars, or any sort of video, a lot of times they tell you, don't chase the dream, live it. And that's true. But the more I've thought about it personally, I realized maybe it's not so much. Maybe the chase and that hunt to accomplishing your dream is living it. We have these big dreams of potentially having a TV show one day and building cars for successful and famous people and athletes and all sorts of crazy things. But you got to step back and realize, look what we're doing. We're already going to shows. We're being published in magazines. We're building cars for already cool companies. It's a progress. We're taking steps in the right direction, and we're moving forward. I'm going to leave you guys with a quote that I came up with not too long ago. And it's, if a camera does not have focus, it creates nothing but a blurry image. And life without purpose is nothing but a dream. Let that resonate with you, and let that change your life. Thank you very much.